Hey there, second grade. This is Mr. Campbell. Today we are going to be working on lesson 12 in our MyMath book. So go ahead, grab volume 1 of your MyMath book, turn to page 81 with me. And today in our lesson, we're going to be talking about fact families. All right, so we're going to be talking about what does it mean to be in a fact family? How does that work? How does this help us out when we're working on addition and subtraction problems? Now, I want to make sure that you are in a space that you are ready to pay attention, follow along with me. Make sure you've got your pencil ready to go so that way, as we get started here today, you are ready to follow along with me. All right. If you're still turning to page 81, go ahead and keep doing that. But I'm going to come down here, and we're not going to do any writing on this page just yet, but I want to show you this. So what we have here, we have I'm going to use my laser pointer. This is a fact triangle. All right. And a triangle has 1, 2, 3 different sides. All right. And when we're working on our addition and subtraction problems, there's going to be 3 different parts to all of those problems. If we talk about addition, remember, we add 2 things together. Those are called our addends, the 2 parts that we add together, and they give us our sum. All right, and our sum is going to go up here. So when we're using fact triangles, the largest number is always going to be going up on the top, and the 2 smaller numbers will be down here at the bottom. All right, and this is how we're going to use it. So we can have our 2 addends down here, and we can go either direction, starting here and going over and up, or we can start here, go over and up. All right, and that's how we do our addition. And then on the other side, the same numbers will be used for our subtraction problems. So we're always going to start, when we do a subtraction problem, we always start with the largest number up here, and then we can go down and subtract this, and it'll equal this, or we can start here, go down, subtract, and it'll equal this. Well, I hope you're at page 81 with me. We're going to turn to the next page and take a look at this with some numbers for just a few minutes, all right? So let's go ahead and take a look here at what we've got for our guided practice. So on our guided practice, it says, a fact family is a set of related facts using the same 3 numbers. The numbers in this fact family are 12, 9, and 3. All right, and again, I'm gonna show you a few things I want us to see. So in our fact family here, the largest number goes up on top, and we're going to use the same other 2 numbers. So in this case, we've got 9, we've got 3, and we have 12. Well, our fact family is going to use those same numbers. We're just going to use them in different orders. So the first part that we're going to look at is when we're doing an addition problem. And an addition problem is always going to have the 2 smaller numbers be our addends. And that's why it's important to put them at the bottom. So here we've got 9 plus 3. So we're starting at 9 and adding 3. And when we've used those 2 numbers, what's the only other number we have? We have to go up here. Well, then our last one is going to be 12. So let's write that in right now. So 9 plus 3 equals 12. All right, now we can actually switch it up, and we're going to jump over here. So we have 3 plus 9. So we're going to start on the right, 3 plus 9, and it's going to equal, we have to use that last number, so we're going to go up, and we have 12 there as well. So 3 plus 9 equals 12. All right, so in our addition facts, we can see here that both of them start down here, and both of them are going to have the same sum. No matter what we add down here, it's going to give us the same answer on top. Well, now let's go ahead and do a subtraction problem. And remember, whenever we do a subtraction problem, we always start with the largest number, and that's going to be up here on top. Now, the way I like to think about this is I'm going to start on top, I'm going to slide down my triangle and subtract that. So 12 minus 9, and what haven't I used? I'm going to come over, it's a 3. So 12 minus 9 equals 3. Well, let's try our other subtraction problem. So now I have 12. I'm going to slide down the other side of my triangle. So 12 minus 3 equals, and I haven't used that 9, so I need to put my 9 in this one. All right, fact families are super helpful for us as we're working on our addition and subtraction problems, just to make sure that we're using all of those. You might notice that as we were working on these, I didn't use 9 2 times. I never used 3 2 times. I didn't use 12 2 times. We use each number just 1 time, but we can use all those numbers to make all these facts. They are all in the same fact family. All right, so let's come down here and check out number 1 and see if we can do the same thing. All right, so for number 1, it says we have 9 plus 7. So I'm starting at 9 and going over to 7. So 9 plus 7. Well, whenever I'm adding them together, I'm going to go up to see what my answer is going to be. And in that case, it's going to be 16. All right. Now I've got 7 plus 9. So I've got 7. I go over and add my 9. And what do I have? 16. You got it. So we're going to put 16. Again, whenever we're using our add-ins, we're always going to go up to the top, and it's going to be the largest number. Well, now I've got a subtraction problem, which means I'm starting up top with my 16. I'm going to slide down my triangle to minus 9, so 16 minus 9. 16 minus 9, and what haven't I used? I have not used my 7, so I need to use 7 as my difference, which is the answer to a subtraction problem. Awesome job. All right, we've got one more to go. So we have 16. I'm going to slide down here and find, oh, there's that 7. So 16 minus 7. What haven't I used? I go over. I have not used this 9 just yet. So 16 minus 7 equals 9. See how quickly we're able to find all of these facts, and it helps us understand them quickly. All right. Well, let's take a look at number 2. Number 2 is going to try to trick us a little bit. So let's go slow together. All right. So let's look at our first one. We're adding 9 plus 8. So I have 9, and then I'm going to add 8 to it. Well, when I do that, 9 plus 8, I haven't used my 17. So 17 will be my answer here. But here's where they try to trip us up. Okay, we don't want to write the same problem, so I'm not going to start here at 9. No, I'm going to start over here at 8, okay, because I haven't started with 8. I want to write a new problem. So that means I'm going to put 8 as my first addend. Well, when I start with 8 as my first addend and I need to add something else, I'm going to go over to, I hope you were able to follow along with me, to 9. Because I'm using the same numbers, but I'm using them in a different order. I started with 9 plus 8, and now I've got 8 plus 9. So now I've got 8 plus 9, and what number haven't I used? Well, I have not used this 17. So that means I need to put my 17 right here. All right? They're different ones. If you ever find that you've got the same numbers in the same place, then you have not written a new fact, and you need to switch them around. Well, let's check out our subtraction problem now. I've got 17 minus 9. All right, 17 minus 9. So I start at 17. I'm going to slide down the triangle. So 17 minus 9. What haven't I used? I have not used this 8 just yet. So 17 minus 9 equals 8. All right. Now, as I take a look at this, I see I've got that subtraction sign. Do you remember what I said we always start subtraction problems with? We always start with the greatest number. And so I look at this and I go, well, I've got 8, I've got 9, and I have 17. 17 is the greatest number. So I know I'm going to start there. All right. So I know that I'm starting with 17. Last time I started at 17 and slid down to 9. I need a different problem. So I'm going to start at 17 and slide down to 8. All right. 17, slide down to 8. So what is 17 minus 8? 17 minus 8 equals 9. So I'm going to put 9 as my difference. Okay. Again, I want to double check. I used 17 minus 9, and then did I use a different problem? 17 minus 8. That's different. So I know that I've got my different fact family problems here. All right. Well, let's go ahead and turn to the page. So we're on 83. Now, there are only 4 questions on this page, and I want you to do all of them. All right. So let me write that down for you real fast. So we're going to do 3 through 6. All right. But there's all these different problems. I want you to go ahead, do your best to double check that you're making them all different problems. So if you end up with the same problem twice, I'm sorry, you didn't do that correctly. Go back and switch them around. Remember that when we have a subtraction sign, we always start with the largest number. That's for both of these problems. We start with the largest number. All right. So go ahead, pause your video right now, work on problems 3, 4, 5, and 6 on your own. And when you're ready, you can go ahead, press play, and we'll go over those problems together. All right, I hope that you took time to pause your screen to go through these problems and try them out on your own. Now, as we go through these, if you made a mistake, that's okay. We all make mistakes, it happens, but we want to make sure that we correct them. So make sure you've got an eraser handy and that you're following along with me so that you can better understand if there was a mistake that was made, what happened. So let's go ahead and start off with number 3. All right. Number 3, I'm going to go ahead and just choose one of my add-ins because I see that I'm adding them together. So I'm going to choose either one. I'm going to just choose the number 8 for this first one. All right. 8. And I know that when I'm adding across, I go over. So 8 plus 6. So I've used 8. I've used 6. Now I need to go and put in my 14. So 8 plus 6 equals 14. Now I need to just rearrange this fact. So I'm going to start with 6. And go over to the 8, and then equals 14. All right, and it's okay if you flop these around. So if your first one was 6 plus 8 equals 14, that's okay as long as your other one was different. Just as long as these are the two facts that you have here, that is what is most important. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and look at our subtraction problems. Well, I know that whenever I'm doing a subtraction problem, I'm going to start with the largest number. And in our fact triangles, that's always the one that's up on top. So I'm going to start with 14. All right. I start with 14. I'm going to slide down here to 8. So 14 minus 8. So I've used 14, I've used 8, and now I need to put 6. For my other fact, I'm going to start with the largest number. So that's 14. I'm going to slide down the side, take the 6 right here, and then go over and use the last one that I had, which is an 8. All right. These are our four facts that we can get from this fact family. You notice that none of them are the exact same. They all use the same numbers, but each equation is a little bit different with the order of the numbers. Let's check out number 4. Again, I'm starting with an addition problem. So for this one, I'm going to start with 5. And if you didn't start with 5, you started with 8, that's okay. But I'm going to start with 5 and go over to my 8. So 5 plus 8. And then I look at what my last one is. 5 plus 8 equals 13. Now I need to switch it around. So I'm going to start with my 8 and add my 5 going across the add ends. And then I'm going to go up to my 13. And again, just like the first problem, if you did these in the opposite order, if you started with 8 plus 5 equals 13, that's okay. It's okay as long as you have two different facts here. Now I need to do my subtraction problem. So I'm going to start with the greatest number, which is 13. I'm going to slide down to the right. And so I'm going to go down to this 5. If you did the opposite direction, that's okay. So 13, slide down and minus 5 equals 8. Then I need to start with my greatest number again for a different fact. I don't want to slide down to the right because that's going to give me the same problem. So I'm going to slide over to the left. So 13 minus 8, and 5 is the only number that I haven't used yet. Okay. Again, just like the other one, the same 3 numbers, but each equation is going to be different. All right. Let's check out number 5. Number 5, I'm going to start with my addition problems. So I have, I'm going to start with 7. Go over to add 3, and then my answer is going to be the top 10. The next problem, I can't start with 7, so I'm going to start with 3. 3 plus 7 is the next number as I go across, equals 10. When I work on my subtraction problem, I start with the greatest number, which is my 10, and I can choose whichever side. In this case, I'm going to choose to go to the right. So 10 minus 3, and the only number I haven't used is that 7. And then last but not least, I start with my greatest number, which is 10, slide down to the left and minus that 7, and the answer is going to be 3. All right. My last one over here is number 6. I start with my addition problems. So I'm going to start this one off with the number 6. I'm going to go over and add 9, and then I'm going to go up to equal 15. For my next fact, I'm going to start with 9. Slide over to add that 6 to it, and end up with 15. During my subtraction problem, I start with the greatest number, which is 15. And for this one, I'm going to go to the left. So 15 minus 9 is going to equal 6. And then lastly, I'm going to start with my greatest number of 15. Slide to the right is going to be a minus 6. And then my answer will be 9. Hopefully you've seen the pattern here, that each time we're using those same numbers, we just rearrange them into a different order to make different facts. That is what fact families are all about, and they can help us out to be able to solve problems more quickly. If you feel more confident with your addition problems, well, when I say, what's 10 minus 3, and you know your fact family of 7 plus 3 equals 10, then 10 minus 3, I need to use that 7, and so I can find that answer more quickly and easily. These are really important, and especially if you're having a hard time with your addition and subtraction facts, starting with fact families is a great place to get started. Just working on every single day, working on these different facts and starting to memorize them, and that'll help you in the long term with our math. Well, I want to say thank you so much for working hard with me today, second grade. You've done a great job. If you've got any questions, if there are things you're not sure of, make sure you reach out to your teacher. Otherwise, we will see you next time.